1-866-95-PATRIOT. Danny, Orlando, we haven't heard from you in a while. Go ahead.
Andrew, you're always worrying about the federal government. You know what, though? I want the federal government to just leave the Gulf of Mexico. I want the cleanup to be privatized by BP, okay? I want BP to be...
Hold on, Danny, you're not going to get an argument from me that BP has some responsibility here.
No, Andrew, not responsibility. The Coast Guard, the Navy, any federal government entity should leave the Gulf and leave it up to BP to handle.
But Danny, the coastal waters are the federal government's responsibility.
No, Andrew, and the federal government did not cause that oil spill. I want the federal government to leave.
Well,
I want the federal government.
Hold on, Danny. If you're saying that BP should pick up the cost of the cleanup and should employ its resources to clean up, I'm not going to give you an argument here. I don't know what you're screaming and hollering at.
But you know what, Andrew, you may not be giving me an argument, but those people of your ilk who...
Well, I don't speak for anyone but myself, sir. Danny, I don't speak for anyone but myself, so if you want to call my ilk, wait for one of my ilk to get on the radio. Right now, you're talking to me.
Andrew, what I am doing, I'm telling you...
You're screaming and yelling at somebody who's telling you that if you want BP to pay the cost of the cleanup, then they should. I don't know what you're yelling at.
Oh, Andrew, can I finish my statement, please?
Oh, sure.
Okay. All thing I'm saying, the people who constantly call your radio show, and I am a listener, so I'm not talking about something of which I don't know about. I listen to you on a regular basis. The callers who call your radio station always are complaining about the federal government, and those are the same people.
Well, Danny, hold on a second. They're complaining. They're complaining about the federal government when the federal government oversteps its boundaries. The federal government has enumerated powers. You live in Orlando, Florida. There's the Orlando city government, and then there's the state of Florida government, and then there's the federal government, and they all have different responsibilities. There are responsibilities involved in the chartering of the city of Orlando, the state constitution of Florida, and then, of course, the U.S. government. That when the U.S. government restricts itself to its 18 enumerated powers and does what it's supposed to do, nothing more, nothing less, nobody complains.
Okay, now, Andrew. Now, when BP runs out of money to pay for that cleanup and all that they've done, when BP totally runs out of money, which they are, okay, then who's gonna pick up? Okay, who's gonna...
Well, all right, so let's just not have an oil industry, Danny, and you can ride a bike wherever you go. And by the way, who writes those leases? Who writes those leases that far offshore?
Okay.
That would roughly be the federal government because it's in the coastal waters of the United States. Danny, you want to scream, you want to yell, you've got to... Okay, Danny, you're... Okay, goodbye.